Welcome to Our Best Self. Here we share stories and experiences to grow healthy habits and practices that will lead to both your happiness and success, personally and professionally. Come with us to explore mental strength, happiness, health, business success, and the gamut at large. Hey, welcome back. Really excited to share kind of a conversation I just had that I don't know if we have enough conversations like this. And it has to do with asking for help. So how do you achieve everything that you want? How do you build your business? How do you grow your network? How do you get that promotion? How do you write the book? How do you do anything? And I think at the end of the day, we all recognize after hard work and after learning enough to keep moving forward, there is definitely a point where we need to partner, where we need to not simply ask for help, but ask for somebody to join us on this path that we are on. Now, the tricky part here is that we need to ask people where their arc of life happens to reach you and I at the moment where we need each other, right? Because everybody's life is going to move at different directions and different speeds and different in passions and hobbies. Things are going to go hot and cold for every one of us. In order to really have a successful partnership where both parties gain from the experience and help you not only move the needle on your purpose of partnering together, but also both parties equally benefit from the arrangement. Now, benefiting can be economics. It can be dollars, where you simply hire another company to help you get between A and B on your journey all the way to Z. But it might be that you find an amazing person at a coffee shop, or you put up a wanted ad online, and somebody at that moment can work with you directly. And they can not only benefit by working with you, but they can personally gain beyond economics. They can benefit in the experience, in the next step on their journey, right? Because we're on two different paths. But at this moment, if we find each other, we are going to be able to achieve our individual goals by working together. And I thought this was just something we had to share, because in order for us to be our best self, we must progress along our arcs of life. And the first step is asking for help. But once you have asked for help and you receive replies, then what do you do? And I want to take a minute here to outline what you can do that I have found very effective, and you can add it to your repertoire of the actions that you normally take. And if you do this, you'll have a higher chance of success together in achieving your goals. So once you have asked for help, you have to make sure that the intentions around the ask are known. Meaning, what are you really asking this other person to do? And are they capable of delivering on that? Now, some people you might want to hire that have never done what you're asking, but they are hungry, they're passionate, and they have at least the basic capability to begin working in that space, right? So maybe you have a photographer who's working on video and storytelling, and you bring them together. Or maybe you're working at someone who can do technology work, and you're trying to shift them into behavioral science, right? There is these nuances where things overlap and can benefit, right? So having the range or the breadth of skills and bringing them to the work can really be a differential that will give you the most benefit. So when we're asking for help, we need to make sure our intentions are clear, right? If you don't have any money, say you don't have any money, but I need you to scrap and work with me because here's the upside that we're going for. if you're able to pay a fair rate and share what are the triggers if money is a determining factor for the individuals. What are the factors that will lead to an increase in pay, right? Maybe we're not able to pay a high rate today, but if we're able to pay a higher rate, if we together succeed on X and Y together, well, now we're talking. Now you not only are building their skill sets, helping them grow in something that they're loving and where their arc is demanding that they learn, you are getting results and you're sharing in the growth together. So setting intentions out of the gate is huge. It is that win-win posture that we need to adopt. But how do you know the person you're hiring is going to be able to do the work? The answer is you don't. The only way you know is that you hire them and see the quality of the work. And if you set expectations and they did not deliver, then you fire them and you get somebody else. That's it, right? We don't know until we give the person a chance. And we have to be proper on our hiring and in our communication in order to make sure that, when we come to the point where we say we want to have a long relationship because you're an amazing human being, or this isn't working for us, I'm sorry, thank you for the time, and you have to fire them. We need to make sure that we really see the lines and we work accordingly. So, creating a win-win, being open to hiring and giving people a chance to do the work, that requires us to then look at what is the best, simplest economic model you can employ today for the next 2 weeks, maybe 3 months with this individual to get rolling. I like the idea of, if we're producing content, let's say you're going to be a video editor for me, then you would agree to $1 amount per hour of video recorded. And this means that from an output perspective, I'm looking for any number of videos produced and cut from it, but we're pricing it based off the amount of footage that is provided. And what that does for me as the buyer of the service is that allows me to know, I'm sending this person an hour of footage. It's going to be X dollars or Y dollars. And it allows me to be aggressive in giving content by also sharing and, kind of giving direction on how to cut it so that way they can kind of get a sense of where I am. And I like to set like a 2-week trial period together, meaning that let's work hard for 2 weeks. Let's see how many videos we produce. Let's see how much work we output. How is the communication? How is the speed? What is the quality? And then adjust. And if we're at a good pace and a good cadence and it feels fair and a good relationship and we're both growing, then I like to set it for 3 in the next 6 months moving forward. And that brings the question of, how do you evolve the relationship with your partner? Now, again, arcs of life, we might be going in 2 different directions at some point, and that's okay. So I always like to look at a 6-month window and ask, where do you want to be in 6 months, right? But I frame it in my needs, meaning that if I am trying to build a business, or I'm trying to create a movie, or I'm trying to, whatever the charity is at the moment, if I'm trying to build and expand here, then I want to frame where do you want to be in the next 6 months based on that framing. Meaning, do you want to continue making and cutting and being technical, or do you want to become a PM and direct 1 to 3 other folks that were doing what you're doing, but now we're doing it at scale with 3 folks? And by me framing it that way is that, 1, it's fair to she or he, in that knowing that this is where I really see us going. I really see us building this up. I would like you to be technical if you want to be technical, but I also believe we can open a door for you to be bigger in a different role. Like, some people love the craft and they don't want to leave editing, and other people would rather work with people than be technical. And by me framing it this way, it communicates where I'd like to go, and it gives him an opportunity or her an opportunity to say, I want to stay technical. So then I'll keep hiring technical people, right? And making that same kind of statement. But if that person says, no, I'm doing this because then I want to go to school and, go into drama or into theater, great. Well, then I know we have a 6-month window together and we need to work accordingly. It's okay, right? So know where your partner is going to be, where they're planning to go, what they desire to be, and where in their hearts of hearts, what they're trying to achieve. When I think about all these things, this helps us align. But at the base, at the root, who is this person I'm hiring? And that goes to philosophy. That goes to the work ethic of the individual. Are they hungry or not? What's their background? What's their need? Right? Do they need to do work, or is this just for fun? And they're going to, both scenarios, by the way, can be exceptional individuals and very productive. But knowing their philosophy, their underlying understanding of where you're really trying to go is important. So I like to ask, and we went through a nice conversation of, what other strategists, videographers, content producers, etc., do you appreciate and do you follow? And we dove into some folks, and thankfully, we align very well on our philosophy and the people that we believe have a pattern of success that we want to, base our behaviors against. And so that's important. So make sure that the philosophy is in place. And then finally, create a framework, right? We don't have an office, right? We're working on passions and projects on the side together. And so we don't have that. And so I set up a framework where she or he understands how we're going to work together, how we're going to communicate together, what's the cycle rate expectation, and what does that mean for him or her personally and for me on the business side. And so when you bring all this together, you ask for help, you find the folks that are in the arc of their life in the moment that matches you, you hire and give people a chance, you're clear on the communication to understand really what they need, and then defining periods of like a 2-week, 4-week, 3-month, 6-month pattern of how will you do check-ins and how will you grow together. And if everything is working, what does that really mean? And how will the relationship develop? And if you think about that based on a foundation and philosophy that you share together, whether it maybe it's from upbringing, it's from where you went to school, schools of thinking that you follow together, then establishing a framework where it can be tactical, where you can work together and you can cut things together and you can get it done. That is what we do to scale and to move fast with people. You have to ask for help. You have to set them up, and they have to understand how they can support. Now, my personal hope in this partnership here is that the arc of he or she in this process continues to follow my path on my passions here, such that we can grow together and I can create scenarios where they can win with our mutual success. And I feel like that is the most ideal scenario, is that I see this moment as super beneficial. It'll allow me to truly create and share on messages that I'm passionate about. But beyond that, the idea that we grow together is exciting. Now, I'm also very self-aware, and just so everybody's clear, is that I have hired many folks over my lifetime, and some have been amazing, profoundly amazing, and others have been absolutely scary. And that's just the way life is. You don't know. And in order for me to really connect with the world, I need help. And I'm super excited about this partnership. And I hope sharing kind of this framework on how I approach it, which has proven very successful in some cases and not many in others, serves you well as we move forward. So I wish you success and in all your hobbies and passions. And looking forward to catching up again. Have an amazing day.